Okay, in this tip, we're going to talk about taking payments, and there's two different types of payments for your business. There are online payments, and then there are offline payments. Some people pay by credit card, some people pay by cash, check, debit. There's lots of different payment options available to you as a business, and there's different ways to process those within the CRM system. So the first thing is, if you want to take online payments, you have to set up this thing called Stripe. Stripe is a payment gateway. They essentially handle all of the PCI compliance for making sure that transactions are secure and that credit cards aren't being stored, so on and so forth. And they handle the back end stuff when it comes to payments. The account to set up with Stripe is free, and they charge very, very reasonable rates for taking credit card payments, especially when they're CNP, which is card not present transactions. So if you're not seeing the customer's card and they're paying online, something like that, those transactions are usually a little bit higher. And so Stripe is a great way, though, that you can collect, deposits or payments online without having to physically see the customer. And they do, depending on your location, have terminals as well that you can take cards with a machine as well. So to set up Stripe, you're going to want to go into your settings, so admin, settings and options, and it's going to take you to this page here, and then scroll down to integrations. And so after you've set up your Stripe account, there's going to be a test account and a live account. You're going to want to put in your API keys, which are your Stripe test key, Stripe test publishable key, the Stripe live secret key, and the Stripe live publishable key. You're going to want to paste those in here, and you're going to want to set the mode to live. Then you'll be ready to take online payments. The only thing you might want to tweak after that part is on the settings page as well, go down to invoices and payments, and here you might want to set up your deposits. If you plan on taking deposits, simply enter an amount here. So let's say you want to take 50% as deposits. You could do 50 in here, and then deposit type percentage amount. Then you have minimum payment amount and invoice fee. So you can set up these settings how you want them for your particular situation on how you run your business. If, let's say, you charge just a flat rate of $50, simply change deposit type to dollar amount. And that's going to change it where it's basically $50 as a deposit instead of a percentage. So that's your options there for invoices and payments. Now, once you have your Stripe settings here, essentially you're ready to go. You're ready to take payments online. And so if we go to finances and invoices, from this tab, you can pay an invoice for a customer by clicking on the pay online. So for this invoice, for example, if we click pay online, it takes us here and it asks us for the cardholder's information. So we simply would put that information in here and then we would hit submit payment. If you're going to do a partial payment, you could change this to, an amount that's lower than what the total is. It'll say total amount due, but you could do amount to pay, it could be less, and then make that payment and it'll just deduct it from the total. That's one option. The other option is if we go back to invoices and we select an invoice, if you have payments enabled for Stripe, it's going to show you an online payment link. So I can simply click copy link. Now I can send that to my customer, or I can hit save and email, and it'll email them this link as well. So it'll send them their invoice with a link that they can pay online. And I'll show you what that looks like. We'll open that up here. So your customer would see this, where they see the invoice total, they can enter in their email for the receipt, cardholder name, card number, they enter in their details, and on the right-hand side, they're going to see their invoice, and they'll be able to review that, and then they can simply make the payment online. So that's what the customer will see if you send them that. And let's say someone wants to pay multiple invoices. Well, you simply go to invoices, and you can check off multiple ones, and instead of using this button on the right, you have these buttons up here, which is pay selected. So if I select them all, I could do pay online or pay offline. So let's say, we just want to pay these two invoices. Then I could click pay online, and it's going to bring you to this page where you can pay online. And it's going to show you the amount to pay. It's going to list the two invoices that we selected, and then it's going to, or however many you selected, and then it's going to do the same process. You enter in the card details and you submit the payment. Now this is if you're making payments for customers, if they're giving you the card information. But if you want them to pay their own, all you'd have to do is select multiple. Oops, sorry for that. Let me go back into a customer here. So this guy, I think he has multiple on his account. Let me see. And he sure does. So great. So if I open up a customer account and they have multiple invoices outstanding, like this customer, it's a demo account, but they have tons of them. So if you go to the customer, I'll show you that process again. So let's say you go to your customer under clients, you find your customer. This box here that says amount owing, I would click on that, and then it's going to list all the amounts owing for this particular customer. If I highlight them all, it's going to show me a payment link, and I can do copy link, and now I can send this link to the customer, and it's going to allow them to pay all of their invoices in one shot, right? So then what the customer is going to see is, instead of this page where it shows just one invoice, it's actually going to list their current balance for the invoices selected. It's going to show all the invoices here on the right, and then it's going to show them where they can, the email for the receipt, the card holder name, card number, everything just the same as the other way, and they can do pay now. So that's the way that you can do multiple invoices to send to a customer so they could pay them all at once. And so now we've covered online payments. So basically, there's, just to recap, there's the way that once you find a customer's invoice, so in this case, for example, if I click on it, it's going to show me the payment link. I can also click save an email to customer. So this is usually the easiest way, is copy it, compose an email to them. Hey John, thanks for paying the email or paying the invoice. We appreciate your service. Here's the invoice links you can pay online. You can also click save an email. So that's option one, is from the actual invoice itself. The other option is from the customer profile. So if they have multiple, then we click on amount owing, highlight them all, copy link. That's if you want to collect multiple payments from the customer at one shot. Now, the other option is you can manually enter in the payments too by checking them off and then doing the pay selected and choosing online. You can also do the same thing for offline payments as well. So offline payments work very similar to the online payments. It's just you're manually marking off the payment instead. So in this case, let's say we've chosen these 3 invoices and we just click pay selected offline. So we choose that option. It's going to take us to manual payments. And here's where it pre-fills in the date, which is today. It pre-fills in the amount of the invoice, and then it asks us what the payment method is. So let's say this one was cash, and this one was check. And then we can enter in some notes here and simply click save. Once we hit save, it's going to save all of those payments for us, and it's going to move them under this tab, which is the payments tab. And then they'll show up here and they'll have notes, and they'll have all the information that we're going to need to see. So that's under finances and payments. So now that's how you market multiple offline payments. So cash, check, things like that. So you select the invoices you want to pay and then select pay offline. The other option is from the invoice management page, so the invoice editing page, you also have this purple button here, mark payment. So when you're on this page, so at our shop, for example, if someone pays, cash or something like that, we go to this, the invoice here, and then we click mark payment. It takes us right here, pre-fills in all the information, and then we would select cash, enter in any notes, and then we would hit save. So that's the way to do the offline payments as well. So you have lots of options when it comes to payments. You can do online payments per invoice. You can do bulk invoices and pay online or pay offline. And then also from the invoice page itself, you can save an email to the customer, or you can also copy the link and manually send it to the customer as well. And then from the customer profile, you're going to see down here a list of all the current invoices with all similar type buttons. If I select all of these, I can do pay online, pay offline, or click this button over here to pay them individually. And you're also going to see a list of the payments that the customer made as well. So that's going to show up on their customer profile. And these are just invoices for this particular customer. And then once again, if you want to do bulk payments by email to a customer, simply click on their amount owing, select all the invoices, copy link, and send that link to your customer, and he or she will be able to pay them online in one shot.